Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just be officially updating you on some more transfer rumours and gossip. So on this current video I'm going to be giving you the latest news regarding Matheus Pereira, and I'm going to be giving you the latest news regarding Gareth Bale. But the first topic of development I'm going to start with is Matheus Pereira. So according to the mainstream media, Manchester United are orchestrating on making a shock move for Matheus Pereira at some point next year. Matheus Pereira is currently on loan with West Brom at the moment. This is first season, by the way, with West Brom, and he has been a revelation in the Championship so far this season. He has made around 14 appearances for West Brom, so he's been a consistent start this season. He's scored 3 goals and provided around 6 assists. By the way, West Brom do have the option to make the deal permanent at the end of the loan by paying around £8.25 million for him. I think they did pay around £750,000, to get him on this 1 year loan. He's primarily a right winner. He's only at age 23. Is Matheus Pereira. Before then was at West Brom. Was on a couple of other loan spells. He had a loan spell with FC Nuremberg. Also before that, he had a loan spell with Chaves. But currently, obviously overall, did start his career with Sporting Lisbon. But yeah, so reportedly, Manchester United are currently in for him. I think also there's a number of other clubs that have attracted their interest in the player. And obviously, Man United are in search for a right winner, because don't forget, during the course of the summer, we was in a search for a right winner. And these, still deficiencies in the squad that do need to be addressed, like I mentioned. I definitely think we need a right winner. We definitely need an attacker. We probably need at least one striker. We need to definitely recruit a replacement for Romelu Lukaku and Alexis Sanchez, because obviously since their departures, we've looked very exposed in that attacking line. Obviously now Martial's back into the team. He's added more inspiration in that attacking third in the pitch, and he's helping the likes of Daniel James and Marcus Rashford. I've got to be honest, Rashford has recently rejuvenated himself like I put into the equation, but we still need at least one striker, someone who can be more effective in the box, someone who can obviously create chances, because analysing it for the vast majority of this season, in a lot of games, we have been struggling to create chances, and this is the explanation, why we haven't been scoring enough goals. But we just basically do need to have more experience in that attacking line. We definitely do need to address that midfield, because to be honest with you, I have got element of concerns about that midfield. I think you could arguably say we need 2 midfielders. I think we need a CEM, we also need a CDM, but we definitely do need to recruit a replacement for Ander Herrera. Possibly there's other areas in the squad as well that do need to be addressed, but I think the main priority areas are that midfield and that attacking area. Obviously next year I think we're going to try and sign a lot of players, because anyway, analysing it, there's a lot of players monologuing in Solskjaer's agenda. Like I updated you on my video that I did yesterday morning. According to recent reports, Solskjaer's only got around 200 million pounds to currently spend in January and next summer. £200 million, is it going to get us the number of players, that we do want? Is it going to get us the right calibre players to Manchester United? It's basically, dependent on, how we spend this £200 million. Don't forget, during the course of the summer transfer window, we spent nearly £150 million on 3 players. So that just indicates out there, you can probably get around 3 or 4 players for £200 million. But like I did say, our recruitment anywhere has definitely got to improve, because our recruitment has been very, very poor for several years. It's been very, very poor for several years. But it's very imperative next year that we do get the right calibre players to Manchester United, so we can be back to being a competitive elite level football club. I think we need at least 5 to 6 more signings, maybe even more, if we are back, to where we currently want to be, and if we are, to be future title contenders. And according to recent reports, Solskjaer has drawn an 8-man list of long-term targets. I think Solskjaer did reveal not too long ago that he's keen on continuing the policy of recruiting young British players, like he did do during the course of the summer. But according to recent reports, they mentioned that he could actually change his transfer strategy in January. I do probably believe we'll do the vast majority of our transfer business next summer, so I think we'll probably look to sign 1 or 2 players in January, but we'll look to do the vast majority of it next summer. Analysing the vast majority of this squad anyway, it isn't Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's. There's only 3 players there that are Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's. The vast majority of this squad is Jose Mourinho's, and Jose Mourinho did recommend 11 players in. Now obviously Solskjaer is inheriting the vast majority of them, so you've also got to take that into account. So Solskjaer is still in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United team. But yeah, so we'll now give you the news regarding Gareth Bale. I haven't spoke to you guys about Gareth Bale for quite a while. So according to recent reports, Gareth Bale could join Manchester United as early as January. Obviously now he's served his 2 requirements at Real Madrid. I think he's only made around 6 appearances so far this season for Real Madrid. Zinedine Zidane, don't forget, did confirm at the end of last season that he was no longer in his plans at Real Madrid was Gareth Bale, and obviously Real Madrid do want to currently offload him. Well, as you all know, I think in the summer, Gareth Bale was closer to making a move to China on a 1-year deal for around £1 million a week. But Real Madrid had blocked his proposed move to China because they was demanding a transfer fee in the end. So he's moved to China, obviously now currently collapsed. He's on a substantial amount though at Real Madrid at the moment. He's on around 650 grand a week and that. And obviously reflecting on the substantial amount he's on, probably not many teams will be able to afford Gareth Bale outright. But a club like us, we'd probably be able to afford to currently pay his wages off. But Real Madrid, I do want to currently get rid of him. Like I've said to you on numerous occasions on videos I did ages ago that I've got element of concerns about us recommending Gareth Bale in. Obviously, he's injury prone. He sustained a lot of injuries, during his tenure with Real Madrid. He's been at Real Madrid now around 6 years. This is now his current 7th season with Real Madrid. He is still under contract with Real Madrid until 2022. For Real Madrid, he has scored over 100 goals for them in over 200 odd appearances. I think he's made about 200 and... I think he's made about 237 appearances for Real Madrid in all competitions. And Real Madrid, don't forget, did pay around £85 million from Tottenham back in 2013. Bale is also aging up. He is now the age of, I think he's still the age of 30. But yeah, the good thing is he's well Premier League proven because he did enjoy 6 good years with Tottenham, when he was younger. Obviously, before he was at Tottenham, he actually began his career with Southampton. His versatility is also very, very good. He can play as a left winger. I think he's primarily a left winger. Also can play him on the right hand side. Don't forget when he was younger, he actually started as a fullback, did Gareth Bale. But I have got some element of concerns about recommending him in. And I think, obviously, Real Madrid would find it very, very difficult, to recruit the £85 million that they did pay for him from Tottenham back in 2013. But possibly maybe could still get maybe 50 or 60 million pounds, possibly. He's still got, like I mentioned, quite a few years left on his contract. But Real Madrid, are considering, obviously, do want to get rid of Gareth Bale. Real Madrid themselves, spent a substantial amount during the summer. They spent around £300 million on 5 players. And Real Madrid are still looking to, add more, players into their squad. So they're still looking to, strengthen up their squad more. During the summer, Real Madrid, did offload some of their players. So the money they spent, they did generate some of the money back, from sales. But yeah, and so he could join Man United as early as January, could Gareth Bale. But we've been long admirers of the player anyway. I think we've been in for Gareth Bale, since like the David Moyes and Pereira. Obviously, we haven't landed him as yet. During the summer, there was talks about him, possibly coming in. There was talks about us possibly, getting him on loan with, I think, an obligation to buy or something like that. But yeah. But obviously, it could be part of a swap deal of Paul Pogba, going to Real Madrid. Because don't forget, Real Madrid have been long admirers of Paul Pogba. Don't forget for the entirety of the summer transfer window, Real Madrid were in for Paul Pogba. And obviously, Real Madrid identified Paul Pogba as their main priority target. And obviously, Zinedine Zidane was keen on recommending him into Real Madrid. And, Paul Pogba's preference was a move to Real Madrid. But I do believe Paul Pogba's move to Real Madrid never materialised during the course of the summer, was reflecting on the substantial amount, we put on him. We was very, very adamant he wasn't for sale because we know how much of an imperative player he is. But, we said we wanted around £180 million, and Real Madrid were reluctant to pay that. So we was demanding over double than what we paid for him from Juventus back in 2016, because we paid £89 million for Paul Pogba. Obviously, he is our most expensive signing, and I still believe Paul Pogba anywhere wants out of the football club next year. If he doesn't leave in January, I probably presume that he will leave next summer. I've got the same perception with Bale. If according to reports, if he doesn't come to Man United in January, we'll probably not end up signing him next summer. But Solskjaer still knows deep down how much of an imperative player that Paul Pogba is. Obviously Paul Pogba hasn't played in the vast majority of our games this season, due to this ongoing ankle injury, that the player has had. As you all know, I give you a lot of news, didn't I, last week regarding Paul Pogba. I gave you the news last Monday. It said Paul Pogba had travelled to Amsterdam, to have his ankle caster removed. So that just indicates how he's closer to recovering from this ankle injury. But I think the last league game he played was the 1-1 draw with Arsenal. But you could arguably say we've seen to look actually better, without Paul Pogba in that midfield, because the likes of Fred and McTominay, have seen to hit the ground running. Especially McTominay this season, he's been absolutely fantastic. The likes of McTominay and Fred are obviously totally comparison to Paul Pogba in that, because you can tell the difference in that midfield when Paul Pogba's there and when Paul Pogba's out the equation. But, McTominay's done well, and he's deserved to keep his place in the team as McTominay, because he has been a consistent star this season. In regards to him being long-term solution for Man United, I've got element of concerns about that, but he has done really, really well this season. As Solskjaer did confirm anyway, Fred will take Paul Pogba's position for a while. And, Fred recently, has hit the ground running. I will agree on the aspects. Manchester United did overpay for him. We paid just under £50 million for him from Shakhtar Donetsk last summer. But fair play to him, recently, and that, a lot of Man United fans have got an element of concerns about him, but he has really, really rejuvenated himself recently as Fred, and he's gaining more trust from Mulligan and Solskjaer, but we still know how essential, that Paul Pogba is, and when he's at his best, he's arguably, one of the best midfielders in the world. I think he's still only 26 years of age, so you can still quite frankly say he's in his prime. Don't forget, Man United, he's still got currently 2 years left on his current contract with an option, to extend it by a further year. Obviously, there was a lot of reports a while back saying that, if there was any chances of Paul Pogba extending his contract with the football club, he was demanding a substantial £600,000 a week. Obviously, which equates to around, I think around 18 million pounds a year. But I knew Man United, were not willing to meet them wage demands, because as it currently stands at the moment, Paul Pogba's on 290 grand a week at the club. So in that aspect, he's one of their highest paid players at the football club. But Pogba wasn't only linked to a move to Real Madrid during the summer. There was also talks about him making a return back to Turin, because he did enjoy 4 good years in Turin with Juventus before he rejoined Man United. And you can analysing the vast majority of his Man United career so far since he rejoined, he's been mainly inconsistent in comparison to his time with Juventus. It was, yeah, and I think there was like the PSG that also inquired about getting him during the summer. Also, there was talks about him, going to Barcelona. But Paul Pogba, it wasn't only during the summer he was subjected to intense speculation. Obviously, back under the Jose Mourinho era, there was a lot of narratives in the media about him, possibly leaving the club and that. Obviously, because he enjoyed a really poor relationship with Jose Mourinho, and obviously when Jose Mourinho got sacked in December of last year, obviously Paul Pogba was very very relieved. And then I think we mainly see the best of Paul Pogba in that 3 month period when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager. He was in absolutely scintillating form and that. But he is close to his recovery, like I mentioned. And Solskjaer did actually say he's not expected back until December. He did say there was a slight chance he could play. In the Sheffield United game after the international break. But I'm very, very sceptical about that. So anyway, that's the latest news regarding Matheus, Pereira and Gareth Bale. As I said, we are orchestrating a double swoop next year, and it could be in January on Erling Haaland and Jadon Sancho, and could reportedly cost Man United in the excess of £200 million for the duo. Now, reportedly recently, we've instructed a personal scout to watch, Erling Haaland in action. Again, he's been a revelation for Red Bull Salzburg this season. He has scored 26 goals in 18 games in all competitions, and Solskjaer is keen on recommending him in to Manchester United. He is a striker. He is only the age of 19, so he has still got a lot of development in him. And I think the beneficial thing about recommending Erling Haaland in is that he's played under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's guidance during his period with Mould. So in that aspect, Solskjaer's keen on reuniting with the player. He's keen on reuniting with the player. But he's disregarding Jadon Sancho. With him, obviously alone, he's going to cost it in the excess of around £85 million. But yeah, I think he will dramatically improve his in our attacking line. I think there's been quite a few other clubs in for Erling Haaland. Regarding Jadon Sancho, reports emerged out last week, saying we had regarded him as the favourites to sign Jadon Sancho. I did actually say I think it's more imminent that we'll sign Jadon Sancho next summer if we had to sign him rather than January. Because I read a report the other day and it did say that Jadon Sancho wants to leave Borussia Dortmund, but it's more probable to be next summer. We know Jadon Sancho is going to cost us in the excess of around £100 million. Obviously, we've got the financial power now to meet that valuation. I think the likes of Liverpool have also been in for him. The likes of PSG and Real Madrid have also now been in for him. But I think if Jadon Sancho did come back to the Premier League, I think it would be more beneficial for his career. It'd create a better platform for him. It'd help him more with his development because he's had experience of playing in the Premier League. Because don't forget, Jadon Sancho served 2 years with Man City. Obviously, the main factor reason why I left Man City because obviously, Man City, couldn't show him first team opportunities, and this is why I left City for Borussia Dortmund. Basically, Borussia Dortmund did get him for next to nothing. They only paid around £7 or £8 million for him. But obviously, he's obviously enjoying a difficult time at the moment. But in a couple of years he's been with Dortmund, he's been the revelation for them. So he's been the revelation in Germany. And this is the explanation why his valuation has persistently grown. So now he's probably worth in the excess of around £100 million. He's primarily a right winner. He's still under contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2022. Don't forget, you can also play Jadon Sancho essentially, but he is only age 19. And I would be excited about the prospect of him playing alongside the likes of Daniel James, Anthony Martial, and Marcus Rashford. I think he complemented them very, very well in our attacking line. But Jadon Sancho is a player that can create chances, he can score goals. His runs on and off the ball are very, very good. And in total in the Bundesliga, he's made around 55 appearances for Borussia Dortmund. I think he's made 74 appearances for them in all competitions. But yeah, he's another player on our current agenda. I think it's also very, very imminent that we are going to sign Mario Mandzukic in January. That's looking very, very likely now. Reportedly, Mario Mandzukic wants to join Manchester United as early as January. And if reportedly we can reach an informal agreement with Juventus before January, you know, he could come to the football club by December. Well, he could start training with the football club by December. Reportedly, he's made his decision and he wants to join Manchester United. Again, the good thing is about recommending Mario Mandzukic is that he's a cheap solution. I think, the only element of concern I've got about us recommending him in is that, he's aging up. He's 33 years of age now. This is obviously why Man United are not preparing to offer him a long-term contract. I think, we're preparing to offer him around an 18-month deal or something like that. But I think we'll only have to pay in the excess of around 12 or 13 million pounds to get him in. At least he can show the likes of Daniel James, Anthony Martial and Marcus Rashford how to be more effective in the box. He can add more experience in that attacking line. And he's a good adequate replacement for Romelu Lukaku. Obviously not a long-term replacement, but he's still a good replacement for him. I admire his career because I think he's had a fantastic career, especially with Juventus. He's now into his fifth season with Juventus and he's scored 44 goals in 162 appearances in all competitions for Juventus. But his goal scoring pedigree, is really, really good. But he does want to come to Manchester United, and I think he's going to actually be our first signing in January, and our fourth signing overall under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer maybe. So it's looking very, very imminent. He's going to be coming in. So yeah, like I said, these are so many players on our agenda, who we could go in for next year. Like I said, I think we're going to be obviously orchestrating on spending a substantial amount next year over the course of the next couple of windows. I did say, didn't I, an estimated guess, I think we'll be orchestrating on spending from maybe 250 to 300 million pounds on recruiting new players in. But reportedly, Solskjaer's only been given around 200 million pounds to spend over the course of the next couple of windows. So this was my explanation. Is this enough, to address all the deficiencies in the squad? So it's just dependent on, how we are with our recruitment. Overpaying for players is not always the answer, because we've been known for overpaying for players. Especially in recent years and that. And if we can, keep this good run of form up until next year, then we've got a better chance of attracting players to the elite level. Obviously, with us not being in Champions League football. With us not being in Champions League football, that could obviously go against us and that. And this is why I did say, didn't I, at the start of this season, that, our expectations this season, will be to finish in that top four. So in that aspect, we can't get into the Champions League and that. But, I've actually fully disregarded that top four now. I know it's still early on in the season. We're 12 games into the Premier League season that, we've so far won 4, drawn 4 and we've lost 4. So in that aspect, we've only registered 16 points from a possible 36. And we know that's still nowhere near good enough to our standards. And I do know that we have, rejuvenated ourselves recently, and I have, seen a variety of changes, recently. But we're still not in that commanding position, where we should be, because reflect on the size and the potential of this club and the money that's been invested into this football club over the years in all the managerial areas. We should be at least minimum, challenging for that top 4. But we're 9 points behind top 4 at the moment. But we're sitting 7th in the league. Obviously that win against Brighton put us to 7th in the league. But we're 7th in the league and that. We shouldn't be in that current position. But I did, expect at the start of this season, obviously, for us to enjoy a better season this season, than what we saw last season, because last season was a huge disappointment. But I still didn't expect us, this season, to win the league or mount any kind of title challenge up, because analysing our squad at the moment anywhere, it isn't good enough to win the league and that. So I did say our aspirations will be that top 4 in the next couple of seasons. So I think, like I mentioned, I think our only route to Champions League football for next season is to obviously progress in the Europa League this season. The positive is that we are now into the knockout stages of the Europa League. with still 2 games remaining, which is obviously very, very good. We're also into the Carabao Cup quarter-finals, so we could still end up, winning some silverware this season, to be quite honest with you. And I do know, we've enjoyed our worst start to a Premier League season for over 30 years. So the last time we had as bad a start to a season as this, obviously, was... I think it was back under the Ron Atkinson era. That was obviously before the Alex Ferguson era. But even though we enjoyed the disastrous start to the season, that we're still back in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Solskjaer still fully insists that he's the right man to elevate Man United forward. Obviously Ed Woodward has got the same perception, because obviously Ed Woodward has assured that Solskjaer's job is safe. I definitely still believe that Solskjaer will be at Manchester United at the end of the season. Definitely will be at Man United at the end of the season. That he's got a 3-year contract with the football club. Got given the 3-year contract when he got the job permanently in March earlier on this year. It was the end of March, that is. I'm still almost assured that he will not see out his 3-year contract. And my perceptions probably will start to change regarding Solskjaer. If we can keep this good run of form up until January or until the end of the season, then my perceptions may start to change. And that the one mistake we did was obviously giving him the job in the first place. I don't think we should have ever given him it, or we should have minimum waited until the end of last season, or we should have waited at some point until this season, to decide or not, whether to give him the job and that. But to be fair, we have rejuvenated ourselves recently, which is absolutely fantastic. I think in the last 6 games or so, prior to the 1-0 defeat to Bournemouth, disregarding that, I think, we have done really, really well. I've seen a variety of changes like I put into the equation. Recently, we've seen to be creating more chances. We've seen to be scoring more goals. Certain players have stepped up to the plate, which is absolutely fantastic. And like I mentioned, I think recently, Marcus Rashford has rejuvenated himself. Rashford's been absolutely he's been in scintillating form recently. Rashford, I think, scored 8 goals in his last 8 starts for club and country. In total now for Man United, he has scored 54 goals in all competitions in just under 200 appearances for the club. This is since he broke into the senior squad, by the way, back in 2016 and that. But I know I've been criticising Rashford for the vast majority of this season. Obviously, reflecting on his poor performances. But recently, he has rejuvenated himself. But I still believe, even during his long bad spell, he is still a long-term solution for the football club. He's only at age 22. So I've been very, very impressed with him in that. Daniel James, I think, he's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. I'm actually, do you know what? I've actually, been very, very surprised there with Daniel James, because, I didn't expect him, to settle in as quick, as he has done. I didn't expect him, to play as many games, to the extent as he has done. And, he's just been he's been a surprise solution, basically. But, Daniel James has deserved to be a consistent star this season anyway, reflecting on his impressive performances. Don't get me wrong, you can still classify him as a prospect, and he needs more time to develop, and he's only at age 21. But when he came to Man United during the summer, he'd taken a huge step in his career, coming all the way from the Championship, to the Premier League, and now his valuation will persistently grow if he does keep this good run and form up. I think he's played around 16 games for the club this season, 19 in all competitions. Well, 19 including his country as well. He's played about 19 games. Solskjaer realises that obviously he's overplayed Daniel James, and that this is why he obviously rested him in the Partizan Belgrade game, because we have been overplaying him, and Solskjaer at the time was concerned about his fatigue at the football club. So yeah, he's done really, really well. Like I said, since Martial's come back, he's been absolutely fantastic. So yeah, a lot of players have stepped up to the plate, which is obviously very, very good. Don't forget, we have got a lot of young players in the squad as well. a hell of a lot of young players in the squad, that are developing and trying to improve at the club. Obviously, we've got a lot of experienced players in the team. Like I did mention, I don't think obviously all the young upcoming players, will become a success at Manchester United. So I have got an element of concerns about some of them. So this is why I did say it would be beneficial next year. If we did orchestrate, if we did orchestrate on getting rid of some of the young upcoming players. Because I've got some concerns about some of them, but I can probably guarantee, I can guarantee that Mason Greenwood, Brandon Williams, and Tuan Zebe, perhaps maybe even James Garner, will all become successes at the football club. With Mason Greenwood now, I'd still say he's comparison to Marcus Rashford at the moment, and maybe even Anthony Martial. But maybe I think probably it's very, very probable, as Mason Greenwood develops more and as he gets older, I think he'll end up, overcoming Marcus Rashford. Not too sure about Anthony Martial, but I think he'll overcome Marcus Rashford and eventually probably, will become a better goal scorer than Marcus Rashford. Obviously, when he gets, when he plays more regularly, he hasn't played as many games as I thought he would have done this season. He actually hasn't even started from the start yet in the Premier League this season as Mason Greenwood and that. So these question marks regarding Solskjaer on that. He started in the cup games as Mason Greenwood and he has scored 3 senior goals for the football club this season as Mason Greenwood. But yeah, I think he'll definitely become a fruition at Manchester United and that definitely. But he's a number 9, but he's also an option for that right hand side. But he is only 18 years of age. Brandon Williams, like I mentioned, I thought he was fantastic on his full Premier League debut for the football club in the 3-1 win against Brighton. You can say now that that left back has been confirmed because I think you've got to say that Brandon Williams is a better solution than Luke Shaw, despite the fact that Luke Shaw's our first choice left back. And is also a much better solution than Ashley Young, so we'll put that into the equation. But he's been absolutely fantastic, and he is only the age of 19. He's Brandon Williams. But he's done very, very well. Tuan Zebe, in the games he's played in this season, he's done well. Obviously, he's out with a hip injury, so I think the last game he played was the 1-0 defeat to Newcastle. Andres Pereira, not too sure about him. I'm a bit sceptical about Andres Pereira because, he's had some bad games this season for Man United. I think he's had a good couple of games. Obviously, he's operating that playmaker's role this season, Andres Pereira. But I still, would give him more time at the football club. So he's there's still improvements needed in his game. Diego Dalot, I think he's played quite a few times this season. Not many because obviously he's sustained quite a few injuries this season. According to recent reports, Diego Dalot is closer to recovering from injury. So he could actually back in contention after the international break. Could Diego Dalot. And James Garner, he's done well, and I said he'd more first team promotions, if he could, keep his consistency up and that. But yeah, like I mentioned, we've got a lot of young upcoming players in the squad, and like I said, and one thing I do credit Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for, he has got a lot of trust with it in his young upcoming players. But I think, Angel Gomez is probably one of the young players, that needs to go next year. He's recently been injured. I think also Chong, does probably, need to go. Because I think Angel Gomez and Chong, they're totally comparison to likes of Greenwood, Brandon Williams and Tuan Zebe and that. Don't forget, I gave you the recent news, didn't I, regarding Chong anywhere. And it did say that he's decided that he's not renewing his contract with Manchester United. Reportedly, Juventus are interested in getting on a free transfer at the end of the season because his current contract does come to an end at the end of the season. And Chon's appearances, you've got to say, have been limited at the football club since he broke into the senior squad. I think he's only played on around 4 occasions as Chong. But reportedly, he allegedly is already informed Man United he's going to be leaving the club at the end of the season and that. But like I did say, even though we've rejuvenated ourselves recently, I still think we need to see a variety of changes at the football club. Like I've said to you on numerous occasions, I think we need to get rid of Mark Kieran board, because I think the board have been a liability for several years. Reflecting on their poor recruitment and their poor selection of managers. This board needs to assure structural changes at the club, and I don't think that you can rely on them to do that. So we definitely need to get rid of the current board. I think Ed Woodward, he replicates the board, because he's also been a liability for several years, so we need to get rid of him. Obviously, with our inconsistency for the vast majority of the season, Solskjaer has been accountable for some of that, definitely. But I've got to credit him recently because, we've done well. He's tried a few different elements to turn his managerial tenure around. We've also showed them a lot of tactical flexibility, which is obviously, very, very good. And some of the players have been definitely accountable, for some of the bad performances and results this season, to be quite monetary. So, yeah, we still need to see a variety of changes at the club. I still believe these more players that do need to leave Manchester United. Definitely to leave Manchester United, more players. I know a lot of players left, a lot of players have left since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's arrival and that, and obviously the vast majority of our players that left during the summer, obviously, went to Italy. So during the summer, Italy, was a very popular destination and that. But I still believe there's at least another 4 or 5 more players that we do need to consider, getting rid of next year and that. So we still need to get rid of more players. I think Young is one of the problematic players in the football club, and you can quite frankly say now anyway he's past his sell-by date at Man United. He's 34. He's 35 next year and that. And Young has been a long-serving player at the football club. This is now his 9th season at Man United, but he has been here 8 years. And these question marks regarding Solskjaer and that. Why is he playing Ashley Young? Why has he been playing Ashley Young on a regular basis this season? So these question marks regarding that. It was also a bad mistake from the football club last season, giving him that new 1-year extension. Jones, he's another one of the problematic players. He's been here more or less the same amount of time as Ashley Young, as Phil Jones. Jones, he's now into his 9th season. He's enjoyed 8 years with Man United, so he's also been here since the Alex Ferguson era. We got him from Blackburn, don't forget, was it back in 2011 or 2012? But yeah, got a lot of element of concerns about him. Again, we shouldn't have given him that new long-term contract last season. Jones' appearances are limited at the football club anywhere in the Premier League because Solskjaer's first choice centre-backs are Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire. And we've still got a lot of centre-backs in the team. We've still got around 6 centre-backs. But Jones definitely needs to be moved on. Nemanja Matic, he's another one of the problematic players. And we've definitely got to consider, getting rid of him next year. Because I think you all know that, I have got a lot of element of concerns about, Nemanja Matic. Too slow, makes that midfield look totally imbalanced and isn't getting any younger. Matic is now 31 years of age. Again, I'll agree. Man United overpaid for him. We paid, was it around £40 million for him from Chelsea back in 2017. And I think analysing the vast majority of his tenure so far for Man United, he's been inconsistent. And now this is his 3rd season with the football club. Matic's current contract does come to an end. His current contract, expires at the end of this season, so we probably could lose him on a free transfer, but we do have an option to extend his contract by a further year, but very, very sceptical, obviously, that we are going to do that. Some people are saying, we should actually, get rid of Jesse Lingard, because he's been atrocious this season and he's endured a very, very difficult time. And they did say, reflecting on the years and his status at this football club, he should be, putting much more better performances out. But he's also, been very, very, he's been a huge disappointment. So for me, there's definitely still more players that do need to leave the football club without a shadow of a doubt, definitely. I'm also very, very sceptical about Manchester United getting a new director of footballing at the moment. Obviously, as you all know, recent reports did confirm that Edwin van der Sar has signed a contract extension with Ajax. So he's now out of the running of becoming Man United's technical director. And a lot of Man United fans believe anyway, he would have been the right candidate, because I did say if we are to get a director of footballing, we need someone who knows the traditions of the club, someone who would be reliable to oversee our transfer business, and someone who would have the right philosophy, to bring the right calibre players in to Man United. But I think Ed Woodward is still keen on recommending a technical director in. Either Darren Fletcher and Rio Ferdinand were linked with the role during the course of the summer. But I did say that's one of the structural changes that we need at the football club anywhere. That's one of the structural changes that we need at the football club anywhere and that. But it's a shame, we didn't end up, getting one in and that. Shame that, we didn't currently, get one in. I give you the news, didn't I, recently, regarding, what Romelu Lukaku come out and said, he'd come out and he said that, this is from his own section, by the way, he said that, Solskjaer tried to convince him to stay at Man United, so he's saying Solskjaer didn't want him to leave. Lukaku did tell Solskjaer back in March that he wanted to leave the football club anywhere. And Lukaku's been in scintillating form since he went to Inter Milan. We got £74 million for Lukaku, was it, during this summer. So more or less we recouped the money that we did pay for him from Everton back in 2017, because we paid £75 million for him from Everton back in 2017. There was £15 million in add-ons, which did potentially rise it to around £90 million. And some Man United fans will pinpoint out, saying, that was a mistake from the football club, giving him letting him go, because Lukaku enjoyed 2 years at Man United, and you've got to be honest, he enjoyed an exceptional first season with the club, didn't really replicate that in his second season, but the main reason why he left is because he initially lost his place in the team to Marcus Rashford, and that, as Solskjaer confirmed. Lukaku scored 42 goals in 96 games, or in all competitions, in the 2 years he was at Man United. But obviously, we had element of concerns about him anywhere. His first touch, there was an element of concern. Obviously he was a big game bottler, but his pedigree in the Premier League, is absolutely fantastic without a shadow of a doubt. I think we've made several mistakes in the last 6 or 7 years, and that, it's not the main reason why we're being a toxic club, but it's obviously you could put it in. You can say it's one of the reasons, and that, getting rid of Ander Herrera, I thought was definitely a mistake from the club. Giving Solskjaer the job was a mistake from the club. The prices, the money we've paid for players in recent years, you could say has been a mistake. Some people say us recommending Freddy was a mistake. We've overpaid for Harry Maguire, but I wouldn't say that was a mistake, because I think he's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. Yeah. And that's mainly everything to update you with. So I just wanted to, overall in this video, give you the latest news about, Matheus Pereira and, Gareth Bale. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care, God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.